You are listening to Blue Pigment Podcast, a podcast for art. The definition of the word art is expression or the application of human creativity, a skill or imagination. I hope to discover new talent in areas such as music, poetry, to mixed martial arts and everything in between. I want to start with my own profession, Her Majesty's Armed Forces. The military has an abundance of characters, and I want to provide a platform for talented regulars, reservists and veterans. Follow my journey as I show you that there is more to the armed forces than just bullets and bombs. My name is Alasdair and this is Blue Pigment Podcast. The bagpipes you just heard playing then was being played by Alasdair. Alasdair's actually doing a challenge this year. He's playing 2 bagpipe songs every day for 365 days. That's 730 bagpipe songs. And we're going to come back to Alasdair towards the end of the episode. But today's episode is actually going to be about culture. And specifically, if you haven't guessed already, Scottish culture. I want to define the word culture first. The definition is the arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement, or the ideas, customs and behaviours of a particular group or society. Now the army celebrates culture and has many different cultures within its ranks, and rightly so. And this is only the first sort of episode that's aimed towards culture, but there'll be many more to follow. So as I'm not Scottish, I'm going to hand you over to a friend of mine, Barry McIntosh, of the Royal Regiment of Scotland. Now I've known Barry for quite some years. We did the Junior Brecon together, or Section Commander's Battle Course, and we did Senior Brecon together, also known as the Platoon Sergeant's Battle Course. We're also on a 6-week Army 2020 trials exercise, and we've kept in touch throughout our careers, and I'll class him as a good friend of mine. And he's going to talk about a particular Scottish culture or event known as Burns Night, and he's going to recite a poem for us. So over to you, Barry. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Barry, and I'm going to give you a quick introduction to Robert Burns. Robert Burns, also known as Rabbie Burns, was born on the 25th of January 1759. He died unfortunately at the age of 37 on the 21st of July 1796. He was from the west of Scotland. Predominantly he was a farmer, and is well known for some of his songs and poems such as Auld Lang Syne, To a Mouse and Tam O'Shanter. Late January and early February time, organisations such as the Army, Air Force and schools and colleges and that sort of stuff have a Burns supper to celebrate the works of Robbie Burns. This usually consists of a lead of that organisation coming in with a haggis, with the bagpipes, and doing a poem called Address to the Haggis. And then also we can either get external individuals who will come in and professionally recite poems from Burns, or individuals from the community or the organisation, such as a mess if it's in the army, will conduct a recite of one of the poems. I'm going to conduct a recite of one of the poems, which was one of his later works. Basically, this is a poem about Robbie Burns' life, and it wasn't going the way he wanted it to go. He wasn't making any money from his poems. He was doing very poorly on the farm, and his life wasn't going as planned. None of Burns' poems actually generated any money until sometime after Burns died, and it wasn't until then his work started getting any recognition. This one's called On a Scots Barge, Gone to the West Indies, and this was done by Burns before he decided to come up with the idea. He wanted to leave Scotland and the UK and head for warmer climates. Some of the terminology and words are written in Old Scots, so you may not understand them, but here we go. O ye wha live by soup so drink, O ye wha live by cramble clink, O ye wha live we never think, come, more noo me, our Billy's gien us a jink, and over the sea. Lament him, O ye ranting core, we dearly like a random splore, nae mair he'll join the merry roar in social key, for now he's taken another shore. That's over the sea. The bonny lasses may well wiss him, and in their dear petitions place him. The widows, the wives, and all may bless him with tearful ee. For we'll what they'll surely miss him, that's over the sea. O fortune, they had room to grumble, had a slow taking off some drowsy bumble. We kent it out, but thick and fumble, 'twad been nae plea. But he was gleg as only wumble, that's over the sea. Auld canty Kyle me weepers weir, standing with the sout tear, 'twill break her poor old heart and fear. And flounders flee, he was a laureate mony a year, that's over the sea. He saw misfortunes could nor rest, lang, mustering up a bitter blast, a gillet bracket in his heart at last, I'll may she be. So he took a berth before the mast, and over the sea, to tremble under fortune's cummock, on a scarce belly full of drummock, wi' his proud independent stomach, could I'll agree. So row his heart is in a hammock, and over the sea. He near was gained the great misguiding, yet coin his pouches wouldn't biden. With him, there was never any hiding, he dealt it free. The muse was all that he took pride in, that's over the sea. Jamaica bodies use him weel, and hap him in cosy beal. You'll find him a dainty chiel and all through the glee. He wadn't wed a dearie veal, that's over the sea. Farewell, my rhythm composing biddy, your native soul was right ill nilly. But may you flourish like a lily, now bonilly. I'll toast you in my hindmost gilly, that's over the sea. And that was Burns's On a Scots Barge Gone to the West Indies. I hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you for that, Barry. I hope to see you soon when COVID goes away. So one of the things that Barry also told me about with Burns Night is a certain drink that they have called Apple's Broth, and it's whiskey, milk, and oats. Now it sounds disgusting to me, but sorry, Scotland. But Barry assures me that it's quite nice when it's cold, so I'll have to try that out sometime. For this next performance, I'm going to sit back and enjoy some Scottish culture. So the guy that played the bagpipes at the beginning of this podcast is also going to see us out to the end of the podcast. His name is Alasdair. He was a reservist and he transferred to the regulars about 3.5 years ago, and he's now in the Royal Signals. Now he assures me that bagpiping is actually quite therapeutic, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to enjoy my whiskey I've just poured, listen to him, and to the end of this episode. What I want you to do though is look forward to the next episode, because I've actually gained quite a lot of traction with this, and I've got a lot of guests lined up. And the next guest is you're really going to want to listen to this one. So without delay though, I'm going to end the show, and here's Alasdair to see us out. Before I go, I'll just quickly add that was a bite-sized chunk of Scottish culture, and there's obviously a lot more to Scotland than just the short 10 minutes I've just done. There's absolutely an abundance of culture within Scotland, and even just the different regions of Scotland. If you want your culture, your background, or your traditions to be represented here on Blue Pigment, please look me up. You can comment in the comment section below, or write to me at bluepigmentpodcast@outlook.com. Don't miss out. Get your culture on my show. See you soon. The opinions expressed on this podcast are solely of my own or the guests, and do not express the views or opinions of anyone else or Ministry of Defence.